Hello, possums, and welcome to another MyKurrentTV video. This is going to cover something to me that is just so disgusting and so wrong, and honestly, it pisses me off. But these things need to be talked about. So, what happened was last week in the city of Atlanta, there was a young lady named Brittney Correri who went on her first internet date ever with a guy named Benjamin Fancher. They met through the dating app Hinge, and they had a good time, but somehow she almost ended up being killed. What happened? We're going to talk about it. It's time for some My Current TV. Welcome back. So as we discussed prior, there's a young lady, she went on this app, Hinge, found herself who she thought to be a nice guy, and by the end of the night, he brutally attacked her. So pretty much what happened is last week they went on their first date, and from what she said that transpired, allegedly they were having a good time, they were laughing, dancing, ha ha, kiki, hee hee hee, great, wonderful stuff. And then she went to some kind of bar with him, what have you, and was seen dancing with black girls. And it set him off. They drove around in a car, and then he proceeded to beat the holy hell out of this girl, calling her all types of niggers and bitches, allegedly. And we're going to take a look at the news clip here, and then we're going to come back and discuss the rest.
On a dating app says that went from charming to violent her date and then beat and threatened to kill her.
Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in Northwest Atlanta. So Tom, this woman says she was not sure she was going to make it that night.
That's right, Javita. Brittney Correri says this first date went from, wow, we're having an awesome time, to I might not make it out of this date alive. Luckily for her, a security guard here saw what was going on and came to her rescue.
I felt that we connected. You know, he made me feel very comfortable.
This is a picture of Brittney Correri and Ben Fancher out on their first date. Correri says they met that day on the online dating app called Hinge. It looked like a love connection.
Super nice guy, very nice. Like, we were laughing throughout the whole night, just having a great time.
After a night of visiting restaurants and bars November 11th, Correri says Fancher became a different person.
I've never been beaten so badly.
Correri says Fancher began punching and attacking her while they rode in his car.
My biggest regret is getting in his car.
Police say it went on for an hour. Correri says Fancher called her the N-word and was irate about her dancing with two black women at the bar.
He said he's going to shoot me, that I picked the wrong white boy.
Correri's attorney says Fancher should face a hate crime charge.
Race was at the top of his mind while he was committing, this heinous act.
Correri says the security guard saw Fancher attacking her on Howell Mill Road and yelled for him to stop.
She's my angel. I can't wait to see her again.
The security guard snapped this picture before Correri says Fancher drove off. Correri doesn't want this to happen to anyone else. She wants Fancher off the streets.
I just want him caught. He knows where we live.
And police are searching for Fancher. He faces kidnapping, aggravated assault, and false imprisonment. Correri's attorney says Hinge bears some responsibility in this. I reached out to the dating app and have not heard back, but it did comment on Correri's social media saying it was sorry for what happened and it is taking immediate action. Didn't say what that action was.
Y'all saw that video and that news clip and all that ridiculousness that went with it. But there is some good news. He was caught.
Tonight at 5, police tell us a man wanted in a dating app assault right here in Atlanta has been arrested in New York.
11 Alive's Latasha Givens talked to the victim's attorney and to police in New York. Well, the Kent Police Department in New York says the suspect that Atlanta police has identified as Benjamin Fancher has been taken into custody and is awaiting arraignment. This is the suspect accused of attacking Brittney Correri last week in Atlanta after the two met through the dating app Hinge. Correri shared her story on social media, showing pictures of her injuries and photos of the man she said attacked her. The Kent Police Department says Fancher was taken into custody Tuesday morning without incident.
So apparently after he beat this woman and the security guard, whose name is Fantasia Atkinson, stopped him, he fled, and he fled to Kent in New York. And he didn't learn his lesson apparently. But what happened was this story got out and he fled, and he still stayed on the app Hinge. And when he was in New York, he met a young lady, and he had told her, hey, I just moved from Georgia to New York, I live with my grandparents, blah, blah, blah. And it just so happened that she saw the story via social media, managed to get him to tell her where he lived, and she called the police. And so now he's going back to Georgia, where he's going to be charged with aggravated assault, kidnapping, and false imprisonment. Now, there are 3 heroes in this story here. Brittney, for speaking her truth and coming out, because honestly, it takes a lot of courage to do something like that. So kudos to you. Kudos to you, honey. Good for you. Good for you. Fantasia Atkinson, good for you. You are an MVP. You are a boss. Good for you for stopping that and doing the right thing, because there are a lot of people who can hear the things going on and not say or do a thing. And I have to just give her all the credit in the world, because that is a boss move you did. Good for you. You saw him. You yelled out at him. You took pictures. Good for you. And that young lady who put 2 and 2 together and rolled over on him, kudos to you, girl. Kudos. 2 snaps for you, because you did the damn thing. Good, 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 good. Now, I know there's people out there that's going to sit there and clown this girl, talking about, well, you should have known better than meet people, all these apps and blah, 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 and whoop, 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 and thump, thump, thump. And I get that. I totally get where people are coming from. But that being said, first off, we're in a new age now. A lot of people meet people online. They meet people via apps. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. Because honestly, like, I was doing my homework on this, and I come to find out that these dating apps, they don't even screen for sex offenders. So it's a really mixed bag of what you're going to get. And I know there's people that, you know, worry about these apps because based on, you know, what happened with this young lady here, what happened to that young boy Kevin Bacon on the Grinder who was killed and cannibalized. You know, there's a lot of fear and a lot of trepidation with going on these apps. And I agree with you on that. But that being said, you can go to a bar, you can go to a club, you can go to a church, you can go to school, you can go to a picnic, PCA meeting, wherever you want. And these people are going to show up and present however they're going to show up and present. You may not know what you're getting to way down the line. Okay? So before we start judging these girls too harshly, this girl too harshly, you know, all these people who have had these things happen to them based on dating apps too harshly, make sure we're using context here. And make sure that we're having some empathy here and that we're actually getting it. Because truthfully, this could happen to anyone at any time, at any given situation, irrespective of where you met them. Okay? So, again, kudos to those ladies for doing the Lord's work and getting him off the streets. And let's talk about him for a second, because I've been hearing all types of things. He called her the B word. He called her the N word. He told her you messed with the wrong white boy. And she wasn't worth the date, I guess the money he paid for the date, so he was going to, like, kill her. And it's like, dude, what the hell is your problem? Like, who does that? Like, I hope that when you go to prison, they give you a psychological evaluation, because you need a hell of a lot more than just prison time. You need somebody to go upside that head and whoop that ass a couple of times so you get the hint not to be doing stupid stuff like this. What is wrong with you? Like, you're a nice-looking guy. You know, apparently very, very affable, very friendly, very charming, whatever. What makes you think that this is how you need to go about and present yourself to the world and do harm to this young lady for what? For what? This makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And if anybody within the sound of my voice would defend that kind of stuff, because you know somebody probably will, you need to have the piss slapped right on out of you. This was wrong on all accounts. I don't care how much money he spent. I don't care how many black girls she was dancing with. I don't care if she dropped like a hot, picked it back up in front of a whole sea of white boys and black boys and brown boys and red boys and yellow boys and all them boys. You do not have the right to sit there and try to falsely imprison somebody, beat the stew out of them, and then threaten to kill them. There's the reason why you should go on a date and fear for your life. No. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Oh, Mr. On got mad. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that people should be more mindful of dating apps? Do you think people should meet the old-fashioned way? Do you think that she's a hero? Do you think that she shouldn't have went in the first place? Tell me your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye, possums.